Not that I knew she was stealing my clothes. And right now, like this very second, she still thinks that we're friends because I have not yet had a chance to go to the house and take my clothes back. So now I'm going to tell you guys my plan to get my clothes back because I just really want my clothes back. Like, that's literally all I want. And, like, obviously, I was sad that we weren't, like, that I had to stop being friends with her, especially because we got so close. Yes, it hurts, but at the same time, like, she's the one who did me wrong. So at the end of the day, like, I'm not upset because I know I didn't do anything wrong. So right now, she is on vacation.
Understand, like, I knew that that's what you were gonna say. And I said, we're good, babe. Like, are we still good for homecoming? Like, are we still gonna go together? She's like, yes, like, I would love to go with you. I said, perfect. Fast forward, like, 2 weeks. It's the week before homecoming. It's Saturday. It's the third to last Saturday in October 2017. My mom and I go shopping. We go specifically to Rue 21, and I remember this day like it was yesterday. I bought 3 pairs of joggers, 2 sweatshirts, and like 3 or 4 pairs of long sleeve tops. I spend a heavy buck.
Ugly, and it makes you look fat. Well, after that, I told her I didn't care what she said and that I was going to get the dress anyways. Well, she didn't like the fact that I wasn't going to listen to her, so she didn't talk to me for 2 whole weeks. And then after, she texted me saying that she forgives me, even though I didn't apologize, but okay. Well then, me being stupid, I introduced her to my boyfriend. Bad idea, like for part 2. Part 2 about the worst day of my life. So like I said, me being stupid, I introduced her to my boyfriend. Well, after that, Cameron started acting really weird.
The truth is me talking shit about my family and me being ungrateful. But yeah, not too sure what I'm gonna do. Probably just gonna pack a bag just in case anything happens, in case they find out. I didn't even make an outro in this video. I made a part 2, but literally in that part 2 I was just talking about this cousin's grandpa, or I guess like her mom's dad, because I was so mad, but I can't post that. I'm sorry. I was just taking it too far. I was being too petty.
Kitana wins. Flawless victory.
Am where I'm from, and if my mom and I were here with anybody else. Like for part 2 about how I was almost kidnapped. So like I said, she starts to talk to me and ask me super personal questions, and I'm being vague about everything that I possibly can be. So I go in, I use the restroom after my mom, we grab some snacks, and then she follows us around the whole store, and she didn't even use the bathroom. So we leave the store and we saw the car that she got out of, and it was parked right next to our car, when originally it was parked all the way across the parking lot. And 2 big ass guns that were fucking loaded. Oh wait, I forgot something. So before this, he had been at the strip club, and somehow he ended up in pink lingerie. Guys, I cannot make this shit up. So he was driving around and he decided to park right in the middle of an intersection, and it was literally causing a whole fucking scene. There were people with their kids worried as hell. So after that, a few people called the cops, like for part 3. Part 2 about how my dad was on the news and now everybody knows my last name. So like I said,
to the bathroom and spit it out in the toilet, and when I came out, my dad had his ear to the door and he was like, bruh. And then I was sent to my room and I was crying, and then he came in and he was like, you need to apologize to your stepmom for doing that because now she thinks you hate her food. And she was just like making that up to make me feel bad, obviously. She could care less. Like, the next thing I got in trouble for was for texting somebody the poop emoji.
I gotta lock in because I'm mad late. It's 8:20 right now. Ooh, I already have mad latenesses already. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a detention. Whew. Whoa. You're late as fuck. It is 8:28 right now. I'm supposed to be there, but you know, one thing about me is I'm gonna take my time when I get ready. The fuck. But thank God I have a free first period, so I won't be late to like any classes, just to my homeroom. But yeah, I'm almost done here. Anyway, that's it. Bye, guys.
Get ready with me, story time. I stretch my eyes out to become Asian. Okay, so when I was 5 years old, I thought everyone in the world started out white, and then you can pick a race. And I would watch these pretty Asian girls, and their eyes look stretched out, and they were really pretty. I wanted to be them, so I, like, stretched my eyes out. And I would actually get mad when my eyes didn't stretch.
Why I asked my grandma, like, a couple days later, you know, where's Pumpkin? And she's like, oh, yeah, I threw Pumpkin away. Oh, tears started to form in my eyes because, like I said, I had an attachment. I was like, what do you mean you threw Pumpkin away? She was like, I'm telling you, I just didn't get a good feeling. It just felt so unsettling. And when I went off to work, I dropped Pumpkin off in a random dumpster. I said, I'm sorry, but you're not Pumpkin anymore. Y'all, I was so sad. Like, I called my sister. I was like, she threw Pumpkin away. Like, you know, but I'm not gonna lie.
The girl who's using my face and creating problems in a different country for me, even though it's not me. I text her and she blocks me immediately. And I did try and take the nice approach. I was like, hey girl, like, you're using my pictures. Honestly, I don't really feel comfortable with that. And she just blocks me. So then a few days later, I decided to text her again, but on my fake Instagram, or like my Finsta, my spam, whatever you want to call it, I took the not so nice approach and I was like, basically, I'm going to take legal action against you if you don't take this down. Shocker, she blocked me again. And I ran out of accounts of this.
Pretending that I'm sleeping, and they think I'm sleeping, so they're over there talking shit about me on her bed, Ashley's bed. I wasn't sure which one's eyebrow I should rip off because the one ripped off my eyebrow, but then the other one put the wax on my eyebrow. They were like, she's sleeping. I don't think she's gonna do anything. She doesn't even have the balls to do anything. So around 4 a.m, everybody is dead asleep. I get up, and Ashley had her hair in a ponytail. So that was easy enough. I grabbed a pair of scissors out of my book bag, and I cut her hair off. Story time about the girl who wealth. He fucked up and told me the truth. He was like, well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I accidentally gave the ring that I was supposed to give you to a girl I was seeing at the time. And I just never got around to replacing yours. So fast forward to present day, I am currently moving all of my stuff out of our house and filing for divorce. Crazy story time about the girl that my dad was having an affair with. So a little background information. My mom and my dad had been married for 10 years. And they had 3 children. Me, who's the oldest, I'm 16. And then my 2 younger sisters.
It's like, I'm just trying to get out of high school. I don't hate anyone. Like, I don't have hard feelings about anyone. The only bad thing about me is I have a really bad RBF, so, like, people probably do think I'm a B-word. But, like, I can't be smiling all the time. Anyway, there's a crap ton more that I know of, and I'm sure there's, like, billions more that I don't even know of. I'm all ready to go. My hair needs to fall still. It looks kind of crazy. Going on a date day with my boyfriend. We're gonna go to Cheesecake Factory and get slushies, and then we're gonna go see a movie. I also need to go to Target, so it's gonna be a long, fun day. So hopefully you guys have a good day, and
Which I kind of believe because his brother did lie 24/7. Or try to play jokes on everybody. So I ended up believing my boyfriend, and to put the icing on top of the cake, I believed him even more because his brother texted me saying that it wasn't true. So a few months go by and he quits that job. And at this time, him and I were really on and off because I didn't like the way that I was being treated. While being broken up for a few days, I got the app Tinder. And I guess the day after I got my Tinder, his friend showed him the app and he got it too. And the first
Pick it up. So I said, you pick it up yourself. And she said, but it's under your chair. I was like, I'm not gonna take orders from her. So I said, yeah, but it's your pencil. So if you wanna have it back, you gotta pick it up yourself. Or maybe one of your friends can pick it up for you. Next to me sat one of my friends, and she was really scared of this bully girl. So she looks at me, picks up the pencil, and gives it back to her. I was like, what are you doing? But because of this, I made clear that she shouldn't mess with me. So for the rest of the year,
know what she was thinking, I know what I wanna see. Bust that pussy open, then I tell her bring it back.
I'd never be blank. If we ever broke, I'd never be... I think I know the answer. If we ever broke down, I'd never be happy.
I just got a lyric.
Hurry, babe, read it.
She a blank, she knows she a blank. She a baddie, she knows she a 10. She a baddie with her baddie friend. I'm safe. I just got another lyric.
Freeze tag.
Help! Help!
And I get up to go to the bathroom. Well, I actually left, and I actually gave him an expired Visa gift card. So, that's how you don't take somebody on a first date.
Tell me about the worst date you've ever been on. Here's mine. 2 years ago, I went out with a pilot from Bumble.
So about 5 years ago, I used to live in Windsor, Ontario, and I went out with a guy that lived in Michigan. Super nice guy. I would say generally the date had went pretty well. After we had gone to dinner, we started eating. He asked if he could feed me.
That Addie is sitting in my seat. So I pull up a chair to the table, and they were all ignoring me and texting each other right next to me. So I was like, okay, what's wrong? And one of my friends goes, oh, nothing, just the fact that you DM'd Gigi and I's boyfriends, saying that we were whores and that they should date you. By the way, Gigi was my other friend. And after that, this bitch Addie has the nerve to make the comment, that's really fucked up. Why would you do that? So then I beat her ass and lost all my friends. Crazy ass.
Like, out of fucking nowhere. As if I've never, like, gotten internet hate. Like, out of fucking nowhere. As if I don't know what it is. Or if I have, like, a really good month with views or something, she'll be like, oh, social media is so oversaturated. Like, I really think you should, like, quit or, like, find something else. And that quote they say, that's, like, the only people that will talk you out of going after your dreams are the people that already gave up on theirs, is fucking accurate. Also, genuine question, like, are you fucking dumb? Like, you think I'm gonna, like, get off the phone with you and be like, she's right, I might get hate, I have to...
Kitana wins. Flawless victory.
So the one day we're walking to PE and Mia and I are having a conversation. And in our gym class, you had to line up in groups of 3. So it would go Mia, Becky, and then me. Well, because I wanted to finish my conversation with Mia, I decided to sit in Becky's spot. So we're sitting down and then Becky marches over to where we're sitting and just stands there and stares at us. Then she walks away and goes and sits with her other friends. And at the end of gym class, she comes back over to us. Like for part 2. Part 2 about why it's never good to be in a best friend group of 3. So like I said,
oh, your boyfriend's out there waiting for you, like, your time will come and it'll happen when you least expect it. And I feel like it's easier if you have some of your first in high school, so you're not so, like, attached to the person later on in your life. And it's so hard to, when you're out, like, at the mall with your friends, not be, like, you see all your friends getting asked their snaps and, like, guys coming up to them and guys, like, staring at them. Nobody talks about
random points in the day to come see me. There was one particular time where I was home with my grandma and her home attendant, and I hear her open the door, and I hear Freddie's voice. She's like, no, she's not home. You need to get out of here. And so I'm a little bit confused. I'm like, you know, it's not a big deal. Like, he knows where I live. He lives right in the other apartment. Like, I'm just gonna go say hi to appease him. We will find out why she said that in a little while. Obviously, he was doing that stuff to his mom, so I know to be wary. As a woman, I felt like I kind of had to play it.
Well, something over here doesn't look right. I ended up having to apologize to the lady because I was like, I'm so sorry. I think the store just got robbed. And she was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, no, well, you see, this thing of Charlotte Tilbury was full when I came in at 8 a.m. It is now 10 a.m. and it's gone. There's only been 5 people in here today, so I'm really confused on why it's gone. The only lady that was left in the store, she was asking me to help her find, like, a nice little hydrating lip gloss.
Everyone is gonna die and no one is gonna remember you, so fuck it.
You hear, we here. No. So, okay, where was I? Okay, yeah, so the girl, I reached out to her. Not on no, like, coming to you as a woman, because it would never be that. But it was like, do you know where my baby dad is? Like, do you know where my baby dad is? Even though I probably should never fucking said that. But I was like, you know what? She's like, oh, are you Jazz? Like, are you Maui's mom? Knew my daughter. Called my baby dad by his first and last name. Like, she just knew everything about him.
This guy, a couple weeks ago, and he's saying all this creepy stuff to me. Anyways, I'm gonna try not to sound like a pick-me when I say this, but it's kind of important to the story. I am 5 feet tall. I am 120 pounds. This man is like 6'4", way taller than me, way bigger than me. I'm running from him. He's gaining on me fast. He catches up to me and he stops me. Like, he gets in front of me and he stops me. He's
way before that, probably since we were in kindergarten. But her and I weren't like BFFs, we were more of acquaintances. But obviously we became friends because she was always around my boyfriend. A month after him and I started dating, I decided that we had to set boundaries for their friendship. Because they had first period together, right? Well, every morning at 9:45, I would go on Snapchat and I would see a picture of them. And it would be her kissing him on the cheek. Not only would it be on her story, but it would also be on his. And I had her on Snapchat before that. She had never met my aunt before, but whenever my parents talked about her, it was only bad things. Well, the one day I went to go and ask my mom something and I heard her on the phone with someone. She was like, no, I'm not giving you any more money. It's not my fault if you spent it all on drugs. And we barely talked about my aunt, so I didn't know that's who she was talking to. Fast forward, I come home from school the one day and my dad's sitting on the porch with this woman who looks like she's homeless. My dad introduces her. He's like, oh, by the way, this is your aunt. He was like, oh, well, she wants to spend some time with you, so you're going to go with her for a few hours.
Kitana wins. Flawless victory.
Out. So like I said, he fell off the roof. Let me elaborate on that. So while I was going down the ladder, my foot slipped. So he grabbed a hold of my hand and I started falling along with the ladder. So then he grabbed a hold of the ladder, tried to pull it back, but when he did that, he flipped over the ladder. Well, he fell through this glass table that was on the deck that was around my pool, and everybody in my house woke up. My dad came running outside. Oh, and her brother wasn't moving after that. So my dad called an ambulance.
Me to get annoyed that you have a boyfriend, but why act that way towards me if you have a man? I don't have a man? I'm confused. Also, I love me a little challenge guy. Till I remembered. Belle.
Ran out of time, come back for part 3.
Part 3 as you guys are begging for it. So basically in this part, I'm gonna show you guys proof that this story is real. And how me and Strawberry are doing in present time. As everything I'm taking.
And we all wanted Chick-fil-A, so I went and I left them all alone in the room together. Like for part 2. Part 2 about how I found my uncle sleeping with my best friend. So like I said, I went to go get us Chick-fil-A and I left them in the dorm all alone together. While I was waiting in line, I called them to ask what they wanted and nobody answered the phone. So I was like, okay, whatever, it's fine. They're probably just busy talking. So I low-key took a long time because I went to the grocery store to get some cookies. I was just craving them. So then I get...
Must be the shit if I really claim you. Bust it open, bend over, put my back in it. Heat addicted like it got a little...
Wow, the vampire clan is so cool.
I know, don't worry. We're gonna get vampires for sure.
What's happening to my ears? A fairy? No way. All the popular kids are vampires. I can just hide my ears. There. As far as anyone knows, I'm a vampire.
You got vampire too? I knew it.
I did.
Do you smell that?
And we also found out that they weren't even her real parents. They were kidnapped at the hospital when they were born. Part 2 about why my mom made me shave my hair off. So like I said, Ashley bailed because she did not want to be a part of Nicole's evil plan to bully this girl. So fast forward, Nicole and I go over to Kelly's house and I start to feel really bad because Kelly's actually super nice and she wasn't as weird as I thought she was. Fast forward, Kelly's sleeping and Nicole comes over to me and she's like, hey, come to the bathroom with me. So I get up and... So obviously I gave him a hard time about it. So he hangs up on me, calls me 20 minutes later, and I hear this girl talking in Spanish in the background. Me being me, I assume the worst. I assume that he cheated on me. So he calls me the next day saying that we need to talk. I go over there. He says he doesn't want to be with me anymore. Life for part 3. Part 3 about how my boyfriend cheated on me, so I cheated on him with his cousin. So like I said, he calls me over to his house. He says that I'm the problem in the relationship. I'm the reason why he cheats on me 24/7. And I'm just like hearing things from my mother's bedroom. So I go up and I open the door. And because I don't want this video to get taken down, you guys probably can guess what I saw. So I ran out of the room, ran downstairs. I start panicking. And Joey came and hugged me and said, I'm sorry, me and your mom just love each other. So I told them both they were absolutely disgusting. So then my mom starts crying and begging me to forgive her. And now I live with my dad. Story time of why it's never good to be in a best friend group of...
Free perfect. What? Oh, and of course, after the party was over, me and my friend were talking shit about him and how he was flirting with her the entire night. And when I confronted him about that, he said, well, she didn't know anybody else there. I wanted her to feel comfortable. So you made her feel uncomfortable in the process. Let's just move on. There was a whole lot more stupidity. Now, we did go to different schools. So I could tell you about the time he told me he couldn't bring guests to winter formal. And then all of a sudden there ended up being pictures of him and another
in shape or form of way. What I do condone is going any measures you need to go to and hurting people's feelings if they talk about your mother. Because we love our mothers. So y'all, I promise, I don't like bullies. I don't like being a bully. I actually felt low-key bad afterwards, but like the bitch deserved it. I ain't gonna lie. So if you're a child under 13, no, that's not a good age. If you're a child 15,
you know I'm the face of the city, bitch. That's why you mad.
At first. But then he started to actually fall in love with this bitch. So then I started feeling bad and I told my friend that I just wanted to end it right there. And she was like, no, let's keep going. This is so funny. Mind you, this was the boy that she liked. So at that point, I was like, whatever. And then he asked to meet up at the mall. So then we took him on a whole goose chase around the whole mall. Like, we were like, oh, we're in this store. Never mind, we're in this one. And the only reason why we got away with it was because he thought he saw us in the one store. So then we broke up with him and we started talking to all the other popular boys.
Our camper's toast. The electrical's all fried. The breaker panel blew up. The fridge blew up. The lights blew up. Everything smelled smoky and it didn't end well. And during all that, the AC was broken from the lightning. So we had to pack everything up in the heat with no air conditioning. So basically it sucked ass and it was really, really hot, but at least I didn't die. I guess that's good.
Thank the fucking Lord for that police officer, because he actually hadn't called my mum. I think he felt really sorry for me and my absolute meltdown in front of him. Just took pity and just like allowed it. I was just a fucking 17-year-old kid. It got to the evening time and I went and texted that guy to say like, how you doing? Why have you not checked up to see if I'm fucking alive and my mother hasn't murdered me? He'd blocked my number. Moral of the story is kind of, don't do stupid fucking shit to impress guys that literally don't give a hoot about you.